All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. And in the last about half dozen videos, I've created an array demo program, both in a console format and in a GUI format. And as you can see in the last video that I produced, I attempted to standardize them. So the idea is I want to be able to create a library file that can be used for both files. Now, a couple things, just so you know when we start. I added in here, this is in the console version, I added an original, which isn't even being used. But the reason that I added it is, again, the idea is we want to be able to create a library file called ArrayBoth.cs, which will be able to be used for both the there it is, the GUI version and the console version of the program. All right, so let me bring up. So there it is. There's no class in here right now. There's nothing in here. All right, so I'm going to start making it in here right now. All right, so again, the idea here, what we want to be able to do is to be able to come in here and create. All right, we want to be able to come in here and create a library file that will be able to be used by both programs. All right, 1 second here. All right, sorry about that. So the goal here, again, is in this video is to create our ArrayBoth, okay? And really, I probably should have named this where I've got the namespace here. Instead of calling this ArrayBoth, I probably should have called it Array Library. It's okay. All right, let's see. I wonder if I can change the name of this. So let's see. Is there a rename in here? Rename. So let's try calling this Array Library. Okay, hit enter. Okay, and it looks like it's been renamed. So now we should be able to come in here and put in a public static class. Whoops, and we'll call this ArrayBoth. And if we get errors, of course, then it won't work. All right. So let's create some constants, and it'll basically be the ones we've used before. So we'll have a public const int size, and we'll set that equal to 25, just as we did before. We'll have a public const int, let's just call them min and max. All right, so min will be equal to 0. And max will be equal to 100. Now, could we have used the same names that we had? Of course we can. So if we wanted to use min test score and max test score, yes, we could have done that. All right. So there's our constants. Now, we're also going to create some global variables. So, well, we can even put this, I mean, they are global constants. Typically, well, anything you create at the top of your program is going to be global anyway. So we have global constants, and now we're going to create some global variables. All right. So I'm going to have a public static int bracket, and again, it'll be test scores. And it'll be equal to new int of size. And we'll also have a public static int bracket, and I think we called this last time like original. And we'll set that also equal to new int of size. All right, we don't have to do this, but let's just line stuff up because I like to do that. All right, finally, we're going to have a public static int sum. I don't think it'll hurt to give an initial value. We'll just give it a value of 0. All right. All right. Now let's create some routines. So this one will populate both arrays with 25 random numbers between 0, which again is our min, and 100, which again is our max. All right, so let's just call this populate. So public static void populate. All right, and what we'll put in here pretty much what we did before. So rand equals new random. Well, we already said sum was equal to 0 up here, but let's redo it. So every time this is called, we're sure we've got a fresh sum, so to speak. So sum is going to be equal to 0. All right. Now for, int LCV equals 0, LCV less than size, plus LCV. All right, and just like we did before, we're going to say let's say int, we'll call it number, doesn't matter what we call it. We're going to set this equal to rand.next min, which is 0, max. Remember, if we say max here, we want to say max plus 1, because otherwise it's going to go up to 100 minus 1. All right, so we'll do that. And then, so here, create the random number. And here, copy this number to both arrays. Okay, so I can say test scores LCV equals number. That's test scores, not test score. And original LCV also is equal to number. All right. Plus, we want to make sure that we add this value to a sum. All right. Now that's everything. So we have now completed our first routine. So that's our first one. That's our populate. Okay. Next, let's come in here and have our get ascending. So return array in ascending order, and then underneath that we're going to return the array in descending order. Remember, with all these, we're working with test scores. We're not working with original. We want to keep original. So we want to return the test scores array in ascending order and return the test scores array in descending order. All right, so we'll have a public void. That should be static. I hope I made the other one static as well. I did. Good. So public static void. In fact, what we're doing is returning an array. So let's say int bracket, and this was our get ascending. All right. So we're going to say int bracket. And what we'll do here, there's different ways of doing this, just so you know. There's different ways of doing this. But I'm going to come in here and say array copy equals, and I'm going to clone the original array. Okay. So again, I'm cloning the original array there. So, and then array.sort of copy, array copy, sorry. And then we'll return array copy. That's it. All right. Now, this next one is going to start to show you some of the power of doing this. All right. So here we're going to have public static int bracket bracket. We've got get descending. All right. Well, now we could clone it again, but why even do that? Let's say int bracket bracket array copy, and we'll set it equal to get ascending. Okay. Then we're going to do an array, not an array.sort of array of copy here, but an array.reverse. We've already got it in sorted order. All right. And then just like before, we will return array copy. So now we've got our get ascending and we've got our get descending. All right. So next, let's do the minimum and the maximum. All right. And let's make this as easy on ourselves as possible. So what we want to do here is, oh, hello. We want to return the smallest array element. And in just a bit, we're going to return the largest array element. We'll do both these. All right. So first we'll have public static int get smallest element. All right. And it's pretty easy, at least in my opinion. We want to return get ascending 0, the 0th element. All right. And very similarly, let's hit enter here. This is going to be get largest element. All right. So this will be get return descending. Now, there's other ways we could do it. We could call get ascending, and we could return size -1. So there's different ways that this could be done. All right. All right. We need our get sum. Let's grab this. So this is get sum of array elements. And that'll just be return sum. All right. We also want to return the average of all array elements. So public static. Now this is going to be a double because again we want to be able to return a decimal portion, and it'll be get avg of array elements. Oh boy, boy, oh boy. All right. And we will just return, and let's cast sum into a double and divide that by size. Pretty simple stuff right now, really. All right, we need the range and we need the median. So let's do those next. And we're getting an error. We have to say it's an int. We're still going to get an error because we're not returning anything yet. So here we will return the range largest minus smallest. All right. So let's again create int bracket bracket. We've been calling it array copy. And we'll set that equal to get ascending. All right. Then we will return our array copy of what? Of size minus 1 minus array copy of 0, first element. There's that. Okay, now we don't have to even do it like that. Some people might argue and say it'd be cleaner to say int range, we'll just set that equal to 0. And then say range equals this, and then return range. Okay, again, you can make your own determination over whether that was really necessary, needed, should be put in there, shouldn't be put in there, etc. All right, so again, as always, there's a lot of different ways that this could be done. All right, give me a second here, and I'll do the rest. All right, sorry about that. I normally don't get any phone calls, but I'm getting them today. All right, so that's the range. So next, we want to return the median or middle array element. And again, just like we did before, so public static int get median of array elements. Okay, so we will return here our get ascending and what, our get ascending. And then what we want to return from there is our size divided by 2. All right. And we're almost done here. We're not allowing searching in our console program, but let's put that in here anyway. So let's put in public. In fact, let's add a comment first. So C# search, and we will have our VB search. All right, so public static int search C#. We'll put in here int value because that'll be what we're searching for. All right. Public static int search C#. Is it give me that because I'm not returning anything? Yes. Okay. So this is kind of like the way we did it before. All right. And we're just going to return array copy let's use another array function, array.indexOf. All right. And basically, we just want it to give us the first one that it finds. So that'll be array copy value. My goodness. Sorry. All right. So we now have the C# search. And let's do the other one. Public static int VB search int value. All right. Now this is going to be, I guess, more like it was before. So int array copy. Sorry, that's int bracket bracket array copy. It's an array. Equals get ascending, just like we did before. All right. And then we're going to use a for loop. So for int LCV equals 0, LCV less than size plus plus LCV. All right. If array copy, if this is equal, and we found it. So we will return LCV. And if we don't find it, so if we get out of this here, all right, we will return -1. All right, meaning that it failed. Now that's everything. Pretty compact. It's about 115 lines. I don't think there are any problems with this. So let's do an edit. I'm sorry, a file, save all, and let's do a build, and we'll build the solution here. I don't think we're going to get any errors. Build completed, 7 succeeded, 0 failed. Well, that's a good sign. All right, so all of that is now done. So let's go back into, all right, I think there's still time, because ideally what you're going to start to see is how small, especially with a console program, it's going to become. All right, so this array demo console, let's do this. All right, I've got the array demo console. Let's copy it and paste it. And we're going to change this to array demo console 02. All right, bring that into here, bring that and open this up. Change these both to array demo console 02. We've done this before, so this is nothing new for anyone watching this. And we want to change this here also to 02. Not there. 02. All right. That should be everything. Now we should be able to go and add that to our program. So let me get let me remove the original one here. We'll keep this file open, and I'm going to remove this one also. So we've got our ArrayBoth file open right now. That's it. So let's come in here and let's add an existing project. And that is going to be array demo console 02. And there it is. All right, so let's come in and make our changes into here. Okay, so I'm hoping that everything that we have in here right now is going to work. I guess we'll see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take everything that's in here, everything, our entire thing that's in here for now, because I don't want to break anything. Let's just comment all of it out, every bit of it. Whoops, and I guess we need to comment out that line too. There. All right, and I'm going to replace it with the following. Okay? I'm going to have in here static void main string bracket bracket args all right. We'll clear. In fact, let's just put everything into a loop. So while true, which means we want to do this forever, we'll start with a clear. Well, I think we removed what was in there. So, oh, wait, hold on. I'm in the wrong file. We'll fix it right now. Boy, oh boy. There we go. All right, we're back. We've got our... Let's open up Array Console 2. Open up that file. Thank you. First of all, let's make that our startup project. All right, now I'm going to take everything that's here, as I said before, and comment all of it out. Then I'm going to go into main, and in fact, I'm going to just comment everything out. From then on, all right. If this works, I have no reason to think that it won't, but if this works, in fact, let's just do that. All right, I'm going to grab everything that I've commented out, and I'm just going to remove it. Why? Because I want you to see, hopefully at least, how nice this is going to be after doing this. All right. So we want to clear. Then, well, what we want to do in here, right now, we want to be able to add our array both, but we don't have it in here. So we do have to go to our project here, right mouse click, add a reference. All right. And these are for projects. We want to add array both. Click OK. Hopefully that did it, and it did it okay. So let's see if I can say using array. Oh, it doesn't like it. Well, I think the reason that it might not like it is we made those changes. I've got to rebuild my solution. Yeah, I want to rebuild this one here. So rebuild solution. Now it's giving me errors, and don't worry about that. It says namespace is a keyword. Okay, it's giving me errors now because I stupidly went and put all that stuff in there. So let's go back. Let's do a file, save all. Let's build and rebuild the solution. Okay, still giving errors. We're going to get this working in just a second. Okay, that's the error because of that using statement. That's okay. All right. This is from an older program, I think. Yes, it is, and that's why I'm getting that error. All right, let me pause this. Again, these errors are based on older files. I don't know why those are even being shown in there. Okay. Like I said, this is a really old program that's from. So let's see. See, a third iteration pay console. Why I'm getting these errors now and here, I don't really know. All right. Let's see if we can put in that using statement. So using, still not showing there. Great. I might have to go back and re-add this. So let's go to Array Demo Console. To add a reference. I know it was in there. Let's remove it. Let's add it again. Say OK. Again, I don't know why I'm getting these silly errors, but I am. Still not showing it to us. Good gravy, this shouldn't have been that hard. There's ArrayBoth. So it is in there. I don't know why it's not showing it. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here. You've seen the changes that we've made. We've got our ArrayBoth file. All right, so maybe what I need to say in here. Isn't it either? Okay, I'm just going to stop right here. Sorry about that. I'll come back in just a couple minutes, fix this up, and show you how they both should look. Okay, thanks.